Hoy vamos a hablar de la duración de una acción que continúa hoy. ¿Cómo expresamos la duración de una acción en español? Tres formas. Three ways. 1. Hace. 2. Desde. Y 3. Desde hace. 1. Hace. Ya conocemos la estructura hace para expresar el inicio de una acción pasada. Importante, la acción no continúa hoy. Está en el pasado. Acción en el pasado, estudié español en Valencia, más hace, más cantidad de tiempo, 2 años, por ejemplo. Estudié español en Valencia hace 2 años. En inglés, I studied Spanish in Valencia 2 years ago. The structure is very, very similar. The only change is that we have a little inversion here. Hace, ago, the equivalent is ago. 2 años, 2 years. But it's practically the same structure. Pero ahora vamos a aprender cómo usar hace para expresar duración o how long something has been going on. Importante, la acción continúa hoy. The action is still going on today, so we're talking about the present, el presente, in Spanish at least. So the structure is the following. Hace, we start with hace, and after hace, like we've seen before, we need the quantity of time, the amount of time, the how long, cuánto tiempo, ¿no? 2 años, in this case. Que, to introduce the sentence estudio español, the action in the present. So this is the formula to express how long something has been going on and it's still going on at present. We start with hace, we need the quantity of time, we need que, and then the action. In English, I've been studying Spanish for 2 years. The structure is quite different. We start with the action, estudio español, and then we've got the how long for 2 years. So it's a bit different in Spanish. It's important just to have a look at the structure, have a look at the formula, look at the examples at the end, and it will become much, much easier. Then we're going to look at the other 2 ways in which we can express duration, which actually follow the English a bit closer. 2. Desde. Still using the present in Spanish, el presente. Presente is like this one, estudio, in present. When in English we're using I have been studying, it's a different tense. So that is one of the main differences here in Spanish between Spanish and English when we're talking about duration of an action that's still going on today, that we are still doing, or that it's still true. So the structure follows a bit closer the English one. We start with the action, but in present. Estudio español en Valencia. Then we use desde, which means since. Desde, since. So that's actually the same. And then we need una fecha o referencia temporal. Por ejemplo, 2018. Estudio español en Valencia desde 2018. The same structure, just the tense is a bit different. I've been studying Spanish in Valencia since 2018. When we use since or desde, we need a date. Or referencia temporal, by that I mean, for example, my childhood. You could say I've been studying Spanish in Valencia since my childhood. So that would be just a noun. Desde mi infancia, my infancy, we say childhood. So that would be a noun, but it would be a time marker, a time reference. Y 3, finalmente, desde hace, which is a little bit different. It's like a combination of desde and hace together. And it's again to express this idea of for, how long. So we start with the action acción en presente, estudio español en Valencia, still the action in the present, and in English we have been studying. Then we use the desde hace, and then the quantity of time. Because after hace, because that's the last one here, desde hace, but the last word we've got is hace, this requires the quantity of time. So estudio español en Valencia desde hace 2 años. I've been studying Spanish in Valencia for 2 years. Ejemplos. Hace mucho tiempo que las mujeres pueden votar. Women have been able to vote for a long time. So we start with hace. That's the structure that is more different to English. We start with hace, then we need the how long, mucho tiempo, a long time. Que, and then the sentence, the action. Las mujeres pueden votar, can vote, in the present tense. The other two are closer to the English. Tenemos televisión desde hace más de 50 años. We have had television for more than 50 years. So, tenemos in the present. Televisión desde hace, and that hace requires the amount, the how long, más de 50 años. Y tenemos penicilina desde 1928. And when we use desde, we require a date or a time reference. In this case, a date. We have had penicillin since 1928. Y la pregunta, what's the question? To say how long have you been doing something for? ¿Cómo podemos preguntar por la duración de una acción? En inglés, how long have you been studying Spanish for? We've got two ways. The first one follows the English as well quite well. We've got desde, since, and cuándo, when, since when, basically. Acción en el presente, por ejemplo, ¿desde cuándo estudias español? We could be asking it like this, since when have you been studying Spanish? In English, you would normally say how long have you been studying Spanish for, but at least you can see where these two words come from, since when. The second way is going to have this longer structure that we've seen in this affirmative statement. Cuánto means how much, tiempo, how much time, hace que, that's more difficult to translate literally because this hace is a bit different. We just need to take it as a formula again. ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que? So how long, then the action in the present. Estudias español, in English it would be with the have been and the present perfect. How long have you been studying Spanish? And then the for, because in English you can split those two parts of the structure. In Spanish, we'll always have these words together. The only thing is that you can get rid of tiempo if you want. You don't have to say it. It still means the same. ¿Cuánto hace que estudias español? O ¿cuánto tiempo hace que estudias español? Vamos a ver un resumen. So, things to take into account and to remember to express duration of an action that's still ongoing at present. We use the present tense in Spanish because we consider that it's an action that's still going on today, that we are still doing. So we use the present. If we use desde, we just need the date. Trabajo en Woking desde 2014. If we use desde hace, we need the time duration. Trabajo en Woking desde hace 2 años. And the structure that is more different to English is this one, the one that starts with hace. And hace requires the time duration. So hace 2 años, for example, que, don't forget the que, trabajo en Woking. So 3 ways basically of expressing the same thing, although the first one is just since, like in English, and those two really are the ones that are exactly the same in English, the same translation in English, but 2 ways of saying it. If you are more comfortable using the one that's closest to English, that's absolutely fine. But it's important to recognize the other one so you can understand it when you hear it. And the question, 2 ways of asking the same thing again. ¿Desde cuándo? ¿Desde cuándo trabajas en Woking? ¿O cuánto tiempo hace que? ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que trabajas en Woking? Y eso es todo. Muchas gracias.